it, fellas. Look here.
Stand by.
One for C-Lab, two for Troy Eagle, three for Wolverine to round out the trio. In this episode, everybody dies.
Broadcasting live from inside the Power Band, this is The Blah. In this episode, everybody dies. I'm your host, the Wolverine, along with my super companion, singular, the orange sassy squirrel himself, C-Lab, the Slab.
Yo.
Welcome to the show, folks. This is the first of the Twofer Hawat shows. That's right. That means that there are only two of us. Tonight it is Chad and myself, as Benny is indisposed on some sort of secret mission of some kind. So we're going to be doing the show without Benny, and we're going to be talking about the 2021 film, the 25th Bond movie, No Time to Die.
Final Daniel Craig Bond.
I know, right? And the 25th Bond movie. I was like, whoa.
For being the 25th movie in a series, it is not as tired as one would expect. It's tired, but it's not as tired as you would expect being 25 in.
No, it wasn't. It was good. I mean,
Yeah,
it was a
it was
good.
fine.
I guess we should just kind of high level it like we normally do. It was good. It was a good story. It was engaging. Good mix of plot, action, acting, all of that stuff. Got no gripes. Got no arguments there. You know.
Yeah.
It's Bond. You know. It's always interesting to see what each one is going to be like based on who's directing it and the person playing Bond and all that sort of thing. But this is a solid outing, man, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Of the five Daniel Craig Bond movies, I was and still am like in love with the first two, and then the second two, Skyfall and Spectre, kind of didn't really do it for me. So it was kind of nice that this one came back to something a little bit more hors d'oeuvre homage to the Bond universe and tied up some threads and didn't go into some weird shit where he's actually like an orphan with a twin fucking brother who's a psychopath kind of bullshit.
Yeah, okay. All right, I'm with that.
It was cool. It was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a bit of a love fest because I think you and I are very aligned on how we think about these movies, and I'm definitely a big fan of Casino Royale. I love that one. And
it's one of the best Bond movies, period, man. Like, I wouldn't put it at the top, but it's definitely one of the best.
I have to agree. And I also think that Quantum of Solace, you can say what you want about that movie. I like that it's a continuation of the story started in Casino Royale.
Yeah.
And while it didn't do as well and may not be as good as Casino Royale, it definitely has one of the best Bond openings I've ever seen.
Oh, is it the parkour one?
Well, no, actually, it's the chase through the tunnel. It's like the very opening of the movie, you know, because like Bond movies always follow the formula of like there's like an opening, and then we get like, you know, the down the barrel shot, and then, you know, we go into the song, and then it's like, you know, then we're into like the other opening of the movie. Like I don't know why they do that, but the opening of the tunnel chase in Italy or whatever it is just so damn good, man, and the way it's executed is excellent. So, big fan of that. Skyfall, yeah, I get the whole like orphan brother thing was kind of weird, but I liked Skyfall. Spectre, I don't know, I just couldn't get into it.
Yeah, was Spectre before Skyfall or vice versa?
No, it was Casino, Quantum, Skyfall, Spectre, this.
It's been a little while since I've seen. I'll take an ejection, Jeff. I just quickly
go for it.
Move through the Quantum Solace opening just to refresh my memory. Yeah, that was a super cool opening. And maybe before we get into the Spectre bullshit, like I like Quantum of Solace almost equally to Casino Royale. I think that they were two really solid movies.
Definitely.
And I think maybe the main reason why I really have a soft spot for it is maybe twofold. One, it wasn't cheese dick bullshit like the last couple of Brosnan ones were, and two, it tied the two movies together, like you said.
Yes.
So maybe that was why I was bummed about the third movie, was just like it kind of departed a bit from the direct carryover. I was like, oh, this could be cool if it's like a multi-movie arc instead of a you know, every one of the Bond movies before that were just kind of one-offs, basically.
Yeah, that's a really good point, man. Because I even this one, you know, I feel like, and I could be totally wrong about this, that like the kind of arc ends at the end of Quantum of Solace. I feel like it may continue all the way through.
It does, I think, but
Like-
I think it's a ragged thread. I don't think it's a strong thread, and that was the issue.
Fair enough. Yes, I'll agree. But then the thread gets stronger between Skyfall, Spectre, and this.
Yeah.
And that's fine because of what you just said. Like, I really like that they were like, all right, let's do an arc instead of like every single one's a one shot.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, the one shots are cool, but it was really cool to see like the story continue and the characters continue from Casino to Quantum, you know, especially since Casino is like the orig.
Yeah.
So, yeah, feeling that.
So, yeah, I mean, I think it's been a while since I've seen Spectre and Skyfall. I just gave so little of a shit, even though I always have considered myself to be a pretty large Bond fan and am
Same.
familiar enough with Bond where, like, I've seen all of the Bonds. I used to watch them whenever they were on, you know, Total Beastmaster show or whatever
Yeah.
TBS stands for. Like, whenever they were on, I would watch it. I love them. I love Bond movies. I mean, what young action-oriented kid didn't?
Yeah, fair enough.
I definitely found I was like enjoying this one, but I was just maybe it's just the MCU is taking the wind out of my sails with formulaic movies, but I found myself being like, okay, it's a Bond movie, whatever. Like, this is fun, but don't care. Whereas like
Yeah.
with Casino Royale or whatever, like, this is fucking great, you know? So I think I'm just like a little bit fatigued of the franchisey bullshit, you know, which is sad because Bond is a pretty solid, you know, it's a pretty solid footing, but
Well, not only that, but Bond has been around doing this way
Forever,
longer
yeah.
than the MCU, you know? So when you got a franchise that subtracts away from an established franchise that did it first,
That's
you're
it.
It's more of a bummer, you know?
maybe this is like tied to our conversation about the Kids in the Hall recently, where I was saying like I kind of want to go and watch all the Kids in the Halls to prep myself for this new series, but I know if I do, I'll get sick of them.
Yes.
And I think that that's the issue that we're having here is like the Hollywood money making machine is like, we need 3 Marvel movies a year, you know? And it's just like,
Yeah.
no, we don't, man. We fucking don't. And like the Bond movies were like every 3, 4, 5 years. And that was just enough time to like build up an appetite for another one, you know?
Yes, like to get sick of it and then be like, hey, you know what I haven't seen in a while? A Bond movie. Oh, there's one coming out now.
It's just, I think that's maybe why I'm finding myself in this position so often is it's just these franchises are once a year franchises and I just don't have the appetite for it.
No, I don't either, man. It's also the constant onslaught of the media because like you just said, you know, before you had to like wait a week and wait through the commercials and wait a year, wait 3 years, you know, and it's like now you don't even have to do that, you know?
Yeah.
Like I've been finishing Better Call Saul in between.
Yeah. Umbo
'Cause
was all up on our grills about watching that. I've never seen any of Better Call Saul.
Oh man, so I've been finishing that because I was looking for something new after The Wire, and I was like, I really need something good, you know. I was having that like kind
Yeah.
of void going on,
Yeah.
and you know, it's just like that. Like I don't have to wait. Like I'm just like plowing through it, man, plowing through it. You know, like one after the other, you know, and it's like. Again, you kind of get freaking burned out on it, too, because you don't have that time, that natural pause built in of like each weekly episode and all that kind of thing. you
Yeah.
know?
Even with The Wire, for me, back in the day, I watched it when I actually watched it on Netflix DVDs that were mailed to my house.
Nice.
And so it was like I got a Wire DVD and it was like, this is so fucking good that I like went online and changed my subscription so that I could have 3 DVDs at a time, you know?
Oh boy.
And so like I'd get like 3 DVDs, but even then, even with 3 DVDs, it's only like 6 episodes or something. So like I could only binge a certain amount.
Like a season.
Yeah, or like half a fucking season. Yeah, but most of a season.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and like even just with that, it slowed me down enough to be able to not just, you know, I wasn't like the person who needed to get forklifted into old country fucking time, all you can eat buffet place, you know?
Right.
You know, like you sit in that place, you're like, dude, all you can eat buffet. And then the biggest people you've ever seen in your life come in and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, it's like Cracker Barrel.
These tables are fixed to the fucking floor.
Yeah.
Like, how are they going to fit in there? You know, when they come in and they're like, I'm a fat fuck, so like I'm not fat shaming, I'm fat observing. And like,
yeah.
they fucking sit down and there's like a fucking plate of fried chicken and a bowl of ice cream and another fucking plate of that meat shit that they put under the red light so it looks like it's not fucking a catcher's mitt, you know?
Yeah.
Like, oh man, let's settle in here.
Yeah, let's take it.
And I feel like that's what it's like these days, man. You know, like everyone who sits down at an all-you-can-eat buffet thinks it's a good idea at the beginning and thinks it's not a good idea at the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
no.
It's
when
like a
you're
universal
crawling out of there
truth.
and you're having trouble. Yeah, when you're crawling out and you're having trouble breathing at the end, it's not a good idea. It wasn't a good idea.
The fucking waiter comes over. He's like, could I interest you guys in some more dessert or maybe a defibrillator?
Yeah, right.
Like, fucking, all right, man.
Please.
Fucking clear. So, yeah, I am nostalgic for Bond. I'm semi-nostalgic for Craig. 15 years as Bond. I appreciate what he's brought to the party.
Yeah.
It has gotten a little tired, but like they came good here. There was lots of fan service and call outs and callbacks here, which like were totally forgivable because everyone knew it was the last one.
Right.
And I don't know. It was pretty solid. Like there were some plot choices that don't hold up when you turn the lights on, you know, but that's every fucking Bond movie has that same problem. Like they are a little cheese dicky and it's kind of like part of their charm, you know?
Mm-hmm. I don't really feel like Casino was like that though.
I think you're right. Yeah, you're right. Casino was fucking rock solid.
Yeah, it was. Like I don't know. I brought this up at work yesterday and like it was a very quick discussion. A lot of people were like, "Oh, I like the Roger Moore ones the best. That's what I grew up on." And
sure,
you know, I chimed in and said, like, you know, I love the Timothy Dalton ones. Like,
yeah,
most people don't like them, but I do. And here's the comparison: like, The Living Daylights is one of my favorite Bond movies, and I think it's because it had that more serious edge. He played the character more serious and more dramatic. And I think that's what makes it good, which is the same reason that Casino is good. You know, like it's like,
sure, it's
very straight up. It's a little more serious. Like, you know, I dig that. I think that's why Casino like shines so brightly.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're coming off Brosnan's, like, I liked Brosnan as Bond and, you know, have a major soft spot for GoldenEye, the video game, and thus the movie. Yeah. So, like, Brosnan is definitely cemented as, like, a rock-solid Bond in my brains because I was a kid, you know, when it came out. So, like, you know, you're going to view those kind of Dalton, Brosnan movies, maybe more Dalton, but as the fun that they were instead of, like, an adult watching it and being like, bullshit, that's totally implied. A fucking cello sled, you know? It's just like, dude,
yeah, right.
Get over it. It's okay. So I totally am down with like how cheese dicky they were, but I guess maybe either it hit me at the wrong age where like I went from like yay to like bullshit with the last couple of Brosnan ones, but I feel like maybe the creators of Casino, probably not the Broccolis, were like, we want to do something that's like super serious here. And they got the green light and it was like exactly the right call.
Totally. And I think also that, you know, I went on, I don't know what search I did, but I ended up on Rotten Tomatoes, like, rank of the Bond movies, all of them.
They're like, I ended up on Rotten Tomatoes ranking of Connecticut malls.
See, you can't say something like that because then I'm going to go look for that. That's the problem.
And then you're going to go make it.
Well, I may go make it, and I may go look for it later, but I did end up on that. And they, you know, like they had like a little kind of bit of a commentary on each one, like just a couple sentences, you know, but like the general kind of consensus was that, just focusing on the Brosnan ones for a second, was that GoldenEye is easily the best Brosnan one. And also one of the better Bond movies, period, you know? And then all of the 4 that came after that for him were just kind of weak, like a lot of weak plots, like, you know, they just weren't as good, man. And, you know, I feel you on that. You know, like I can't even remember the last 2 because I was just like, whatever. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the world is not whatever. You know what I mean? Like, who cares? That's what it was.
I just remember Madonna fucking going like, you know, Madonna yodeling while he's like on a dirt bike on top of a house with Michelle Yeoh like kung fu fighting off the back of the motorcycle. And it was just like, I don't care about this movie.
Yeah, that one was actually pretty good.
Maybe. But like that's my only memory of anything that's not a GoldenEye.
Yeah, it was the handcuff motorcycle riding, you know, now you got to straddle me, now I got to straddle you.
Oh my God, the handcuffs. You know? Yeah, that's it. Oh man.
That's why it was like that on that BMW kind of cruiser bike that they came out with.
Is this a fucking Cirque du Soleil show or a Bond movie? Like what the fuck is up with the handcuffs?
Yeah, I don't know. They were just a little thin, you know. But Brosnan was awesome, dude. You can't
he was great.
deny that.
And Dalton was too, man. I mean, like I'm totally with you.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm totally with you.
He was great. Yeah, and in Living Daylights is just it's so damn good, dude.
They were all good.
Yeah,
except for that random dude from Her Majesty's Secret Service, who I don't even remember about. He was probably pretty good too.
You know what? That one actually ranked really high in out of like the whole lot of them, man. You know,
I randomly ended up on that mountain one time in Switzerland.
Really?
They were like, "Yo, this town has the fucking mountain fortress from a Bond movie." I was like, "Well, I'm going to that." And fucking went up on this like funicular thing and like up. It was pretty cool.
You got to the top and you were like, "Where's the fort?"
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, "It's not real."
You know what was at the top, Kev?
What?
An all-you-can-eat buffet.
There you go, man. An all-you-can-eat gripes buffet.
Red lit meat and bowls of sloppy ice cream.
Oh, God, dude, it's so nasty with a huge sneeze guard.
Yeah, he's a huge sneeze guard with like, you know, belly button high kids' noses like imprinted on it, you know?
Oh, God, dude. That is nasty. Wow.
When it comes to what you were saying about Brosnan's arc of his movies, they were all one shots and they just got weaker and weaker.
Yes,
and
that's it.
For me, I found exactly the same with Craig. And like I definitely think Skyfall and Spectre are almost certainly better movies than some of the later Brosnan one shots, but I just found they got weaker and weaker and I just gave less and less of a shit. And there was some great stuff in there, you know, like Judi Dench was fucking awesome.
And then she
There's some
dies.
cool stuff.
Totally.
Yeah, you know, like they actually are killing people off, like whatever. So like it wasn't like total weak sauce, but it definitely got weaker and weaker. And I think this is a little bit of a return to form.
Mm-hmm.
Like I kind of like want this movie to exist in a universe where, you know, maybe there's 4 movies, maybe there's Casino and Quantum, and then there's a 4th movie that takes the good bits of the other 2 and jams them together to like feed into this one or some shit. Because like Spectre and Blofeld stuff was cool, you know.
Yeah, and it was cool for them to bring the character back.
Yeah, it was cool to kind of get that Spectre stuff brought back in, but they did it over the course of 2 movies that probably, I don't know. I can imagine a 3rd movie in a 4-movie series where it was just like, you know, a different arc with a little bit less psychotic brothers. Like I like Javier Bardem and shit, but like there was just some weak sauce in there.
Yeah, like when he pulls half his freaking mouth out of his head. And you're just like, okay.
Yeah, what's the fucking denture glue advertisements that they used to have?
Oh, Fixodent.
Fixodent, forget it.
Yeah.
Oh man,
let's get you some Fixodent, dude, because he sounds like Head in the Jar Higo, bro. Yeah,
fucking
yeah, like let me pull my teeth out. And he's like, "Wrap this up, Mr. Bond,"
with his fucking Dumb and Dumber bowl haircut.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Fucking Javier Bardem driving around with half a face and a giant shaggy dog fucking van, you know?
Totally.
Squeezing ketchup and mustard at the ceiling.
Ugh,
see, I'd watch that, actually. That sounds pretty good.
I would. I know. I would, too. Yeah, I'm feeling you on the Sky. I mean, I don't know. I felt like Skyfall was... One thing they focused on in this Daniel Craig kind of series of films was like showing, or maybe this was my perception of it, was showing that Bond could like really get his ass kicked. You know, like he takes a beating in Casino, you know, and in Quantum and in Skyfall. He gets like he's broken in that movie, man. You know, and
he's just a tank.
Yeah, he is a tank, but like, I mean, he takes a pounding, man. And then this one, he gets the crap kicked out of him, certainly at the end, you know, and then he just straight up dies, you know. But, you know, like when he drinks the poison in Casino and then he has to like go out to the car, get the emergency defibrillator, and like, you know what I mean? Like he really, really gets pounded on in these movies, man. Like I think more than we've ever seen in any other Bond actor arc, you know?
Yeah. Which one was the one where he ended up getting like a giant rope to his balls in the bottom of a chair? That was pretty heavy duty.
Oh, that was, yeah. That was
that Casino?
Quantum.
Oh, it was Quantum.
I think Quantum, dude. Yeah. In that like cave or whatever, and they were like,
dude's like, let me show you my chair with no bottom. Strip you naked and hit you with the giant rope. It's just like, dude, what are you doing, man? I want to be in the room when the writers came up with that idea. I just be like, Billie, you're fucked up, man.
Yeah, very cruel. So focusing back on this actual movie. When I was watching the opening credits, like I was genuinely psyched, like as much as a person like myself can be, considering how exhausted and burned out I am. But I saw, you know, Ana de Armas, Rami Malek, who I'm a huge fan of both of them. I was like, okay, like it was getting me stoked for sure.
Yeah.
And, you know, Léa Seydoux, I don't know what else she's been in, man, but
not much, a couple things.
Yeah, I wasn't too like wowed by her, but she was still good. But like, I mean, there was a lot of great actors in this movie. So
I like that she wasn't a Victoria's Secret fucking supermodel with stupid wings on the whole time, though. Like, I think that was a good choice.
I agree. She was definitely kind of like a very, like I don't know, regular woman. You know what I mean? Like a regular woman,
realistic.
Like the opposite of what you, like the opposite of what you just said. You know, like for years, like the Bond women were like these.
I mean, Ana de Armas is a good example. Like she's stunning, you know.
But she's a totally capable actress.
Oh, for sure.
We loved her.
Oh yeah.
Blade
I see
Runner.
what you're driving at. Yeah, it was just
you know
like
I mean?
window dressing back in the day.
Well, back in the day, it was like Playboy models and supermodels, and like, you know, we got Kim Basinger in that weird sort of side thing Bond movie, Never Say Never Again, when Connery came back in the 80s there for a minute. And that was a good Bond movie, but, you know, it was, I don't know, these actresses are, you know, and we started seeing that more in the Brosnan era. You know, like we got Halle Berry and Sophie Marceau and like, Denise Richards, but
yeah, fair enough. That was a bad choice.
Like kind of
Michelle Yeoh was pretty awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean, Denise Richards was just about to go to Crazy Town when that happened, but yeah, Michelle Yeoh, exactly, like excellent, powerful women. You know, women that like knew how to fight. You know, so we started seeing more of that, and we've gotten some really great women in these Daniel Craig movies, and this movie is no exception. So, you know, in that context, like Léa Seydoux is great, you know. And she played the part really well too, you know. Like I really connected with the whole bit with her and the little girl. Like, I mean, the little girl like looks like my daughter, you know, it's like almost the same age. So, you know, it was kind of tugging at me, and I was just I was really glued to the whole dynamic between her and the little girl, you know. And I was like, how? And that was like, I actually really liked that element in this movie because, not to digress too far from where we were, but like, usually in movies when we get like little kids involved, I'm just like, eye roll, here we go, like Jurassic Park, you know, whatever. But this, I really liked having the girl in there because they did it differently. And I was kind of like, how are they going to like, do all this like crazy spy shit with this little kid? Like, what are they going to do? You know what I mean? And like, they did it really well, like keeping her protected and the whole thing without making it like a dumb Jurassic Park kind of situation. You know what I mean? So yeah, big hats off to that.
Yeah, it was an interesting choice. I mean, it
was.
the off-road Range Rover commercial car chase, which was quite cool, with the kid in the car seat was like, that was pretty hectic, man. You're just
it was.
A James Bond car chase, drive people off the road is fun. And then there's like a fucking 4-year-old, and you're like, that's sketchy. You're just like, it raises the stakes, man. You're like, fuck.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, it raised the stakes of that whole sequence, and really from that point on till the end of the movie, because it was like, well, he can't just like bash the car up and roll it and jump it. It's like, you got a little kid in the car, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it was cool to see him do Bond while being mindful of that kid being in the car. You know, and they executed it well, and it seemed realistic, and it worked really well, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I have a gripe of Kev about it at all, but I think that the kid thread is a good example of a plot point that was good in a lot of ways, and then kind of like tropey, where it's like the only reason the kid exists is to like justify Bond's willingness to die at the end, you know, where he's like, I live on through my child, as opposed to him being like, I've got nanobots and I can't touch this one chick, so I'm just going to go fuck a bunch of other chicks because I'm James Bond, you know, like.
Right.
You know, like, it's like, it just kind of like cherry on tops the whole idea that he's going to, you know, sacrifice himself and stuff. And just to be fair to my gripe, I think the poison shit meant he couldn't touch anyone else, but like, whatever. That was super tropey, but I think the like daughter being a reason for him to kind of be like, my arc is done and I've done my bit and like it's okay that I die now. Like, I'm cool with it, like I get it. But for every car chase where the tension was ratcheted and it made it interesting, there was the kind of the yin to the yang of it being like, Bond can die now kind of stuff. And it was a little tropey, but Bond is tropey, you know?
Well, Bond is tropey, and the whole child thing is tropey, and that's kind of what I was trying to say before, was that, yes, it's tropey, and it could have gone really south and been like a Jurassic Park kind of like, oh, now the kid's lost, now we gotta go save the kid, like, but even if I wouldn't have made the choice to inject the kid character into the story myself, the fact that it was there, or rather it being there, they executed it very well, is what I'm saying.
They executed it well enough, for sure.
Yeah, to the point that they actually, you know, really did a good job with like, you know, having the tension of being really scared for the child, you know, and watching the mother kind of suffer through that, you know, like it connected with me, man. I got, you know, definitely gave me anxiety, you know what I mean? So I think they did it well.
Yeah, I mean, the Remy Malek taking the daughter off of the mother thing was pretty heavy. And then they paired that again. Like, I know I'm sounding like I'm griping a lot, but I'm not. I'm just simply like
no,
poking at it because I think it's interesting. But like, you know, they take the kid away, and it's like, oh wow, and that's pretty hectic. And of course, she's, you know, she goes feral as any parent would. And then at the end, you know, the little girl bites him. And he's like, "If you don't do it, my protection," and she just like walks off. You know, it's like, oh, okay, is that how that's going to result? She just leaves and hides under a table. Sweet, okay.
I love it. I love that he gave her the choice to go, and she just like bolted.
Yeah, she's like, "Fuck you, bro."
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah.
I guess like some of the plot choices were like a convenient way to tie off the thread instead of having to do a 15-minute. And maybe as I think out loud about it, this is probably an example of a movie that chooses to tie threads up in a quick manner, even if it's tropey, as opposed to making a 6-hour-long movie that we've been kind of griping about people spending too much time in movies and wanting to cut 20 minutes out of a movie. Mm-hmm. And maybe this is what the opposite thing kind of looks like.
Interesting. But at least they did a serviceable job of tying the threads up. Yeah. Like,
wasn't a complete debacle. It was reasonable.
No, I think they get props for that.
Yeah, it was good enough.
You know,
it was good enough to be like, yeah, cool, thread done. Let's get to the next action sequence or something. You're like, yeah, all right, no worries.
I think just zooming out for a second though, like I didn't really need to know that James Bond had a daughter, and like I don't know if he even needed to have a daughter. Like I don't think any of that really necessarily.
I think that's my point. Is that we didn't need to know James Bond had a daughter. he needed to know that James Bond had a daughter so he could die on top of a fucking, missile silo.
Fair enough.
So it was just a device for him to be like, okay, I'll give up. Boom. Which is tropey. It's kind of like, all right, the fallen hero, fucking James Bond, cool. Let's all
get it. You're
read
so
fucking
brave.
Poetry in a room with glasses.
Let's
of
have
scotch.
I was gonna say, let's leave an empty glass, or let's leave a full glass of scotch on the table for you.
This is when your boss is like, I've gathered you here all today to talk about that guy that died, and I'm just gonna read you an awkward quote, and you won't know what to do after I finish reading it. Here I go. It's just like, all right, guy, like what?
Yeah,
it was funny. Man.
I already feel awkward.
Yeah, this is already really awkward. All right, let's come in for a hug.
Like, all right, let's get in here and have a hug. All right. So what do we do now? Are you 007 now again, or what?
Yeah. All right, back to work, people. Got to hit our quotas this month.
Yeah, exactly. Do I get to be 007 again now, or is he still 007?
So I don't know.
Right?
Man. It's fun. It's fun to poke fun at these fucking movies because they're just it really is just a gigantic formula, and like, okay,
yeah,
I have a soft spot for the formula, I guess.
I mean, I think too at this point, to be fair to the universe, like we've seen so many action movies so many times, like there's not a whole ton that's surprising us, as viewers.
Yeah. For whatever reason, I just I haven't read, maybe I've read one or two Tom Clancy books. Like, it's just not my thing. I'd rather read some fucking pew pew laser sci-fi shit. But Clear and Present Danger for me is like a really fucking solid, Bond adjacent political espionage kind of thriller. And it didn't need a fucking cheers sequence at the end. It didn't, I don't know. Maybe it's just Bond.
No.
But.
I agree with you, dude. This is see now we're in a space where you and I are fully aligned because there's certain things that you and I both love, and that's like Count of Monte Cristo,
yeah,
Clear and Present Danger, really the entirety of the first Jack Ryan series with Alec Baldwin and Harrison Ford. And some other things too, but I feel you. I've seen Clear and Present Danger numerous times.
Max Headroom's here, everybody. Welcome, Max.
Yeah. Well, it's Kev Headroom. So I've seen that movie many times, and I really like it a lot. And I agree with you. Like it's Bond adjacent. It's adjacent. It's like spy thriller, man, but just kind of like the ultra American version of it. You know what I mean? And you're right. They didn't need to do all that stuff, and the writing's better. It's good. It's better. It's based on a book, and the books are super popular, and it's like the writing's better, So
maybe it's just like at the end of Nobody Dies for Death's Door Knocker, whatever fucking this movie is. Just like Ray Fiennes is like, and poetry. Winston Churchill once said, and it's just like, the fucking extra comes in from the side and opens the door and just goes, message, it's like, there's no message here. It's a fucking Bond movie, dude. Like,
yeah, right.
Bond movies are like, Bond's a playboy who kills people and bangs people. That's all he does. That's the only thing he does.
And drinks.
Yeah, he drinks and, he kills half the people and fucks the other half. Like, that's,
right.
There's not a whole lot to it. And like, I get you need to have a little bit of you are going to be tempted to have a bit of a message at the end of your 5-movie arc and stuff, but like, I don't know. I could see a world where you like Bond fucking literally gets vaporized in one of the frames that you watch, and then it fades to white, and just like maybe just leave it there.
Yeah, kind of like the end of Rogue One. Like they're kneeling on the beach, and it's just like nuclear explosion. It's like movie's over.
And then, like, if you want to be fucking sappy about it, cut to the scene with the mother-daughter, which was sappy as fuck. I want to tell you a story about the man, Bond, James Bond. You're like, oh, okay. Take your fucking sweet supercar to drive your fucking daughter to daycare in Italy. Like, what the fuck?
So you can tell her a story about her dad.
And then your dad strangled him and broke his fucking neck. Have a good day and take care, honey. See you later.
Then he shot him in the face. Have a good day, sweetheart.
Your father and I were fucking on a bed, and this guy came through the thing on a rope, and he shot him, and it was a gun under the pillow. And he's like, oh, this story again, Mom.
Yeah, right. Mom, we've heard this stupid story about the gun and the pillow.
I just want to watch Paw Patrol. Shut the fuck up.
Right. That's when, like, the kid turns into Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, pretty much. Sweet jumps, bro.
Yeah, totally. So, like, yeah, I'm with you. I think if they had... I was okay with that scene if they just changed the dialogue, man. It didn't make it so tropey lame, you know? Like,
which one? The car scene?
Yeah, because I was like, okay, like, all right, I can get
it. It was really just the Bond, James Bond for me. You know? If she just, like, it was like...
What did she... Wait, what did she say?
I want to tell you a story about a man. His name was Bond. James Bond. It's like, yeah, okay. I know the Bond, James Bond thing. It's like she turned to the camera and winked and then, like, pointed her finger at it and went, pew, and the fucking little circle thing closed, you know? Okay.
Yes, all true. I think that they just changed the dialogue, it would have been better. Because
Yeah.
like I was okay with the setup and like the whole thing. Like they should have done something tasteful at the end. You know, if you're gonna go to the lengths of trying to make it like serious and tasteful and like this is like this kind of like send off of Bond. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like why? I don't know why make it so lame. I don't know.
I'd almost like, I'm full of shit here, but I'm just going to go with it anyways. I almost kind of want it to be like the CIA Wall of Stars, where it's like, you know, MI6 and like, maybe it's not the ceremony where, you know, Bond stars put on the wall. Because like, I imagine you're aware of the Wall of Stars or whatever, where it's like when a person dies in the field, they put a star on the wall and like there's no identifying, you know, factors. It's just like we're celebrating a person who died in service. And I kind of I kind of like the idea of Bond coming home, quote unquote, to being, you know, to take a line from or to take a title of the movie in Her Majesty's Secret Service. Like, you know, he comes out of retirement, saves the world for the last time, and then they like put his star up with the wall. You know, like Bond the legend is now dead and now Bond is legendary, but he is just another person who has dedicated his service to Her Majesty. And like I kind of think like that's some closure maybe, but I'm probably really clutching at straws here.
No, I think I see where you're going with this. Like just make some sort of simple thing that's more serious, kind of like acknowledging and it's like the less is more principle, man. Like don't make a whole like let's get together in a room and have like a ghost glass of scotch,
fucking open mic night,
like deaf poetry jam, right?
Yeah. And now M will be doing Scatman. Skibbity-bidi-boop-boop-boop.
What did you say before? Nobody dies. What?
I don't know. I just make it up as I go along.
I know, but that was the episode title. I was like, that's got to be the episode title.
Death Becomes Her or some shit.
No, it's like nobody dies at death or something. Nobody dies at death. Okay, there we go. Yes, I get what you're saying. Like, you know, again, like similar to the child scene. Like, if you're gonna make it serious, like, you know, put the effort in, man, all the way to the end. Like, you know, switch those two things around. I think that we're both saying the same thing, right?
Yeah. I'd tell you an example of like a well-handled, maybe it's like suspense more than anything else, not serious, but suspenseful scene is the opening scene with a little girl fucking taking out Rami Malek with the mask and then her under the ice and then him saving her. Like, that was pretty fucking cool, man. That was like, is very Hannah, the movie Hannah inspired, kind of, but like.
Yes, I thought of that, yes.
Really, really was pretty cool, man. Like, you're put in the shoes, like, I don't know, maybe it was the novelty of being in the shoes of a young girl from the character's point of view in the opening of a Bond, you know, rather than like a crane parkour or a car chase. It's like some girl trying to survive, you know?
Sure.
And then her under the ice was super interesting. And then it cuts to the fucking normal, you know, Billie Eilish song or whatever. Like that was fucking solid as. The mask was super cool. It was super ominous. Like his voice was super interesting. There was a lot going on there that was really interesting.
Yeah, no. I agree wholeheartedly.
And then you get the payoff with him going into her psych office and her opening the like that box. You know, that was just like, I don't think he was the best villain. Like it kind of fell apart when his fucking global fucking plan of, you know, feeding everyone fucking nightshade petals or some shit was
mixed with nanites.
You know, it's just like, have some of my tea. You know, it's like,
oh, dude.
Okay. But up until then, I thought he was, you know, broken, sinister. Interesting that he was younger. His family got killed, and he was, you know, somewhat of a similar age to Bond and Léa Seydoux instead of some old fucking bald dude with a cat and a throne.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the what of it was that she's the daughter of Mr. White, and
which one was Mr. White again? Because I haven't seen those movies in a while.
He was one of the ones from. My recollection is one of the guys from like Casino and Quantum of Solace.
Yeah, he was like the double crossing dude. I think I remember the guy.
Something like that. And so she's the daughter of Mr. White, and Mr. White ordered Rami Malek's parents get killed. So
right.
That was the whole reason for him visiting the home in Norway and killing the mom and all of that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to clarify that. So
no, I'm with you. I'm just trying to think about it too. Yeah, I like the portrayal of vengeance being stupid, where it's like, bro, this girl had nothing to do with your fucking family getting killed, man. Like, come on, you know, like, and then he saves her, and then he's got this twisted fetish about it, which is interesting. And then he takes her daughter or whatever. Like, it's super twisted in just the right kind of Bond way, like Bond villain way.
Right, but then I don't get, like, she like unloaded that gun on him when she was a little girl.
Yeah, I mean, it was center of mass. Like, he probably had a vest on or some dumb shit.
All right.
Like, you can justify it reasonably well. Like, Bond took like fucking 20 bullets in this movie and didn't even Bruce Willis out. Like, he wasn't even limping. He was just like, he shot me in the shoulder a couple times. I'm fine. Not even any blood.
Yeah, right.
It's like, what are you, the fucking Terminator, dude? Like, at the end, he obviously gets popped a few times and he starts slowing down. But, like, I think it was on the bridge in the opening scene. Like, there's like a car coming down the pipe with a fucking machine gun, and he got shot in the back and just, like, turns around and fucking jumps off the side of the bridge. Remember that?
Wait, in which one?
In the beginning of this movie, like when he jumps off the side of that bridge, like when he's fighting the fucking dude with the cybernetic eye.
Wait, in the beginning?
Yeah, the beginning of this movie, it's like fucking Hannah revisited, and then it cuts to Bond with his girlfriend fucking in a room, and then he goes to like say bye to Vesper, gets blown up, and then as he's going on the bridge, they're like shooting shit up. He gets popped a couple times.
Yes, he does. Yeah, he does. Yeah. Sorry, this movie's really long, dude. It's like almost 3 hours.
Was it?
Yeah.
It didn't feel as long as like Batman did, for example.
It didn't feel that way, but it was long. Like Batman was 3, Dune was 3, this was 3. Like, it's a lot of time.
It's a lot of pudding.
And I had to watch this in chunks too. It was a very fragmented viewing, which I did not like.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't really sit and absorb the story.
Yeah.
The risk of falling asleep for me was like...
you know you're tired when you fall asleep during a Bond movie.
Exactly. So, anyway, sorry, you're talking about the bit on the bridge. Go ahead.
No, it was more just that Bond... maybe it's the flip side of the coin to your comment earlier about how he gets the shit kicked out of him, and he's a bit of a tank. But, like, there's getting the shit kicked out of you, and then there's getting shot, like, 6 times, you know? Like,
yeah, true,
it's a little bit over the top. It's a little bit, tractor trailer full of
fruit. Okay, fair enough. But at the same time, like, because, like, he's taken a beating throughout all these movies, as I said earlier. And I think that one of the things I really liked about that was that, you know, it really showcased, like, what an operative of that level would be trained to do and would do in those types of situations. You know what I mean? Like, it's like if you're at that level where you're dealing with threats that are so huge that, you know, the literal fate of the world hangs in the balance or whatever you want to call it, like, I would think that somebody like that would do that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, they'd be trained to do that. You know, like, take multiple bullets and it's like, keep moving forward. Like, keep moving forward towards the objective. You know? I don't know. That's how I've always kind of... I mean, that's how I've always kind of thought of these things like that in these Daniel Craig movies.
I'm just a chubby guy in an armchair being like, not realistic. When I got shot, I totally didn't do that.
6 bullets, you would not be using a laptop.
The one time I got shot, it was totally not like that.
But that was in Call of Duty. Yeah.
So, I'll
but I was wearing my
there.
haptic suit so I could feel the bullets. Oh my God. So we are like super all over the place. That's fine. Let's talk about Rami Malek, dude.
Dude, Rami Malek. He was, one thing I read about Rami Malek's character is he went with the Lukashenko look, like the dude that got poisoned.
Yes.
Which I thought, I was kind of confused about his, facial makeup choices or whatever they chose for him or whatever. But with the Lukashenko Russian poisoning thing, it really fit with the character, the family that poisoned people and stuff. That was cool.
I agree. And I really kind of discovered this guy on Bohemian Rhapsody, and I was like just absolutely blown away. Then I went and watched,
for me, it was Mr.
Robot. I did watch Mr. Robot, and then I was like, wow, this guy's really good.
Yeah.
And I think I picked up Robot, and I think I'm on season 3, but I still need to finish that. That being said,
yeah, I need to finish it too.
I was really stoked to see him in this movie again. Going back to where you were before, was he the right choice for the villain? I don't know. He certainly
fit good enough. Better than Barden.
Yeah, he fit the temperament of the villain, like how he was like really super intelligent and quiet, and but he was definitely weird.
Oh, dude, he was weird.
This is my poison garden. Would you like to play in it?
That's it.
I see you have foxglove flowers. Did you choose them yourself? They can make your heart stop.
All right, man.
Okay.
I brought you a present. Would you like to open it?
Yeah, this isn't weird at all.
Yeah.
We are bound together. You are mine.
And then the little girl reaches out to touch one of the plants, and he doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
It's the mom that's like, "Don't touch it! Don't touch it!"
He had a tip of the hat, milady fedora kind of vibe going on.
Definitely, he was weird for sure. I don't know,
but you need that. You need that in a Bond villain.
You do, and I was definitely like, okay, like world level threat. Like I get it. We're gonna poison the whole world with nanites. Like that all is actually all really cool. And I also like the story element of the scientist double crossing Blofeld and Spectre and poisoning all the Spectre people.
Yeah, that
like
was cool.
there were some really cool elements to this story for sure, and that was one of my favorites.
I think they should have fleshed out who was going to be affected by this virus a little bit more.
But they didn't explain it well.
No.
I don't think. Is that what you're
the
saying?
scientist there for a minute with the new 007, the lady was like, I could take out your entire race. And she's just like, fucking, all right, well, you're going into a bath of acid, dude. But I thought maybe it would have been too Space Hitlery, but I thought the idea of like a eugenics program was at the right scale for a Bond villain, but they just hint at it instead of say that that's explicitly what they're doing.
Wait, expound on that a little bit. What do you mean?
So at first it's
eugenics in the sense that they're culling the population, you mean?
Yeah, it kind of hinted that they were not culling the population at random like a Thanos snap. They were culling the population by getting rid of the quote-unquote undesirables. And,
yes,
we've obviously been through that in real life with the Third Reich and stuff. And so, they were probably trying to hint at that to kind of give it gravitas with how fucked up it was. But the only kind of implication as to what was actually going on was when the Russian dude was, being a weirdo and saying, I'll fucking kill all the black people, And I was like, okay, you crossed the line, dude. Fucking see you later.
Yeah,
and she punts him,
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like he was quipping about it, but I kind of feel like that was what they were driving at, they just maybe didn't want to explicitly say that it was like a eugenics thing as opposed to just the villain wanting to kill everybody because my mommy and daddy were killed, so I'm going to kill all of you,
Right.
It seemed a bit more calculating than that, but they didn't really explain it.
Yeah, no, it did. And again, that story element was not fleshed out well enough. which is a shame because it left me. There was a lot of things that I was like, wait, who was that? What was going on here? And that's never a good thing in a movie. Like, I didn't even really realize it until later that it was Rami Malek that was the guy at the beginning because he got shot so many times. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Oh,
and
like in the sense that more than one person wore a mask like that or something? Or when the mask was shown,
I didn't get that. I didn't get it was him.
Even when he opened up the mask in her office, or she opened up the mask in her office?
Again, fragmented viewing.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Well, I mean, I could imagine a world where it was kind of like V for Vendetta, where the Rami Malek bad guy, all of the people wore masks like he wore or some shit like that. I could see.
Okay, yeah, sure. I didn't put that together, that it was him. You know what I mean? Because he got shot so many times. In fact, I didn't even notice, I don't know how I didn't notice this, that he saved her from the ice in the beginning.
You didn't notice that? Oh, yeah, you're definitely tired, bro.
Yeah.
I love how every once in a while it was just like, the movie we watched?
Wait, what? Yeah, no, there's it's kind of like alien abduction. Like, I have like missing time. I have missing time due to exhaustion.
There you go.
So, yeah.
You got kind of like a memento thing going on.
Yeah, it's very much like that. So okay, now it's all pieced together. But my own stupidity and tiredness aside, I do agree with you that the nanobot thing was not explained well enough.
I mean, maybe they were doing the Third Reich, let's kill all the minorities thing, and then someone was like, hey, let's not say that because we'll get canceled or some shit. Maybe, but I don't know. I don't think that they would do that. Who knows?
I'm not following you. What do you mean?
Oh, just like backing off of it because it's so fucked up. They don't want to I don't know, make a movie about something that's that fucked up. They want to lean into how fucked up it is because it's like, well, if our fucked up character does something fucked up, then maybe everyone will think we're fucked up. It's like, no, man, just it's a movie. Like, don't worry about it.
I'm with you.
They kind of did that a lot. It's been a while since I saw Casino and Quantum, but like they kind of did that a lot with Daniel Craig's Bond movies, where they wouldn't explain some stuff. And normally I like that. Normally I like the things that are unsaid because, like, I'll take a Star Wars death. Like what we talked about elsewhere, where it's like the Clone Wars was the coolest sounding thing ever until they actually made a movie about it, and then it was not cool anymore. Like,
yes,
I like when they don't give away everything. But I remember vaguely, like, one of the main parts of, I think it was Quantum, was like water rights and kind of some of the global warming-y stuff.
It was.
And I remember that being really interesting and was like, oh, I wonder if they can take this and kind of push it, because I guess where I ended up with Quantum was like, cool, Quantum is part 2 of the movie that Casino was part 1, and maybe for part 3 it's like a Spectre fucking hoarding the world's water kind of thing, and I thought there was some interesting opportunities there, but then they just kind of left it. And then I feel like they did that a couple of times. Even here it's like, we're going to kill everybody, but then we're just going to leave it because Rami Malek needs to poison James Bond,
And hang out in his poison garden, totally.
Yeah, so...
I know.
I don't know.
I grew up here with my parents and their poison.
Cool. And now you can grow up here too, little girl.
I think, I'm feeling you there. I think it almost would have been better if, this is like a bit of a digression, but if they had done Casino, Quantum, and then Spectre.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, Skyfall was good, but it was really more about, like, Bond getting beat the hell up and Judi Dench dying and the mantle of M passing to Ralph Fiennes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
More than it was, like, about Bond, sort of. And I think it would have been cool if they just went from Quantum to Spectre and then made it about, like, what you said. Like, some, like, plot to, like, steal all the water or something, man. Like, that would have been... Right? And but continue the thread it all together. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I like Ralph Fiennes and everything, but a 4-movie arc with Judi Dench the whole way through would have been just fine.
I know. I don't know why. Why do we have to lose Judi Dench?
Probably because it was like a fucking 13-year thing where she was just like, I'm bored. See you guys.
Oh, that's right. Wait, she did all the Pierce Brosnan ones, right?
I don't know, but this is a 15-year arc with Craig. 15 fucking years. Like,
wait a minute. This definitely calls for an ejection, dude.
I don't think she was in any of the Brosnan ones. But she was definitely in Royale, I believe.
Hmm.
Wait a minute.
Hold on a minute here.
You're correct.
Am I? Where'd you find that?
I'm in Judi Dench's IMDb. The World Is Not Enough, 1999. She plays M. Tomorrow Never Dies. She plays M. GoldenEye. She plays M.
Oh, well, there you go, right there.
Oh, that's interesting. I completely forgot that.
Wow,
I'll take a death for that, bro.
Yeah,
I think
forgot
I
that
should take a
too.
death for not remembering it, and you should be resurrected for getting it right.
I'll take it. We never had a resurrection before.
No, we probably shouldn't do that, but
I agree. It goes against the whole principle of the show. Yeah, Judi as M. So, okay, so we know the mystery of that. That mystery is solved. So she's been doing M
for fucking ever.
Fuck.
So no wonder she was fucking sick of it. She's been doing it since 99. She's probably just like, can I please stop doing this shit? At the same time, dude, that would have been a fucking fat ass chunk of change for her.
Dude, no, she's been doing it since 95 when Brosnan started. You mentioned GoldenEye.
That's true. That's a lot. That's a lot of fucking M, dude.
That's a lot of pudding.
It's a lot of pudding. I don't know. Like, it's not the M roles were not big roles. She could probably do her shit in like 4 days and get paid $1 million bucks or something. You know, like it was probably like a cash cow for her. Anyways, Judi Dench's fucking retirement pension aside, I think
she was like, "Okay, I'll take it. This is my retirement pension."
I don't know. I need to revisit these movies, I think, and I have no interest in doing it right now. So maybe in a couple of years, I'll say again, like, "Oh, I watched all the Bond movies again." And like, right now, I'm with you. I think they should have condensed shit, and it would have been better.
Yeah, I don't have the wherewithal to rewatch them either, but I do want to do that at some point.
I'd like to starting with the go beginning. Through all of the Bond movies. I just same as before. I think I would just hate Bond by the end of it. I think they did like a 20 days of Bond back in the day that I was like, yeah, cool. Where it was like one Bond a day or something instead of watching them all in a row. Yeah, they still do
stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. And you like miss one or whatever and just catch them. It's like Shark Week, Bond Week. Well, we've been moving in and out of the plot. Maybe we should do some cast shit. You got a little taste of Felix, who they killed off. That was sad and good and cool to see him again.
Yeah, I can't like that was the other thing too, is that we get like everybody dies in this one.
Nope.
So let's hang on that for a second, if that's okay with you. Like, why did Bond die in this movie? Like, why do we have him and Felix die in this movie?
It's the end of an era. It's the only reason.
I know, but like but we're gonna get more Bond.
It's a reboot.
Movies,
I think it's a clean reboot.
Is he dying?
I think they want a clean reboot.
Okay.
I don't know how I feel about a reboot, but I don't know. I might be wrong here, but it's the first time Bond's died. Like, that's a thing.
Yes.
Like, you can't keep making movies if Bond's fucking dead. And so what happens when Bond dies? Like, Bond dies, and then it says James Bond will be back. And so it's like severing of all threads, doing a full reboot. Like, that seems to be the only reason.
It's gotta be. Yeah. Because a lot of the movies, when they end, it'll say, James Bond will return, you know?
And it did. It did here.
Right.
So, yeah. Bond dies, and then they say James Bond will be back. So, like, I think they were trying to make it clear that it wasn't the last Bond movie.
Huh. They've been talking about who's going to be the next one. And
what's his name?
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba.
Yes. Yes. No, Stringer Bell, dude.
Stringer. Yeah. I'm down with Idris Elba. I just want them to do something interesting with it, you know?
Yeah, I do too. And I'm
totally down with Idris Elba, man. He's fucking badass. He's about as suave as it comes. But
I totally agree, dude. Super capable.
I just feel like we've milked the fucking Bond franchise for all it's worth with all of the Bonds. All of them have just been the same suave. Maybe it's the whole point, but I don't know. Maybe they just need to put some patents and eye makeup on Idris Elba.
I mean, make him like a kind of a goth My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, exactly.
But
My Chemical Romance goth Bond. I'm totally down with a goth Bond.
I'm into it. I think I definitely, and this is not like this is not a gender thing. I do not want to see that girl become Bond.
No, that was weird.
That was too weird. I can't handle that. Yeah, well, she's not Bond though. She's not Bond. She was 007.
Yeah.
So like I couldn't deal with that. Like
I didn't really understand that whole thread. Nothing
I didn't
against the
either.
actor. Like she
No,
was the
yeah.
sidekick in Captain Marvel. She was
What?
Captain Marvel's good friend, the other pilot, I believe.
Oh, whatever, Rambeau. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But she's capable. I just feel like she was just the comic relief, nothing burger character here.
Yeah, nothing burger. I don't know why. Like I don't know. The whole thing was dumb until she was like, I want him redesignated as 007. So wait, am I 009.5?
That's it.
And then in the beginning, she was like, wait, if I'm 007, who's he?
I love it was like they're trying to save
like,
the
wait, I
world.
didn't-
She's like, I officially would like him to be reclassified 00, and there everyone just looks at her for a second, like, oh, okay, and then they get back to work. Like, this really isn't.
Yeah,
important.
all right. I love how M was like, okay, whatever, fine.
Just go and do
Blow shit up.
Oh man, I mean, Ana de Armas, I think, did a better job of being a 00 style sidekick in her scene. You know,
Definitely. And she was
She did a great
CIA.
I kind of like, I don't know. I love Ana de Armas. I think she's great. And I think her, especially as Joy in, was it Joy?
Yeah, Blade Runner. Yes, Joy in Blade Runner.
Sorry, I need to. No, it was Joy. Yeah.
No.
I get her. I get Joy
it was
and
Joy,
Love
yeah, because
confused.
the Psycho was.
Yeah, so her as Joy in
Right,
Blade Runner, I
exactly.
think, like, showcases her abilities as an actor. She was really good in Knives Out, even though I thought that movie sucked. But I guess Craig brought her into this as a result of working with her in Knives Out, which, if you haven't seen, like, it's worth checking out. Yeah.
Really?
You might like it. I just wasn't in the mood for a mystery. It's like fucking Clue.
I'll check
it's just
it
a
out.
mystery. I don't give a fuck about mysteries. Somebody gave me grief about
I
it
like
on
mysteries.
the Grams.
Dude, we just watched Batman, and that was
Detective
a total
mysteries.
detective mystery.
Yeah, I don't know.
Come on.
I just maybe I just wasn't in the right headspace for it. Check it out. I think you would
All
like it. I
right,
just
okay.
wasn't in the right headspace for it. But
You know what? If it's free somewhere, I'll watch it. Other
Fair
than
enough.
that, I'm not watching
But I think
it.
she just brought a lot to it, and her character in this, she was hamming up the naivete. You know, I've only been training for a few weeks and like pounding a fucking martini, and then just like kicking serious ass, which I just really liked. I found it really charming. Whereas I didn't find Naomie 007 overly charming. She just seemed like a shithead.
No.
You know, it's like, I'm the best.
She just
fuck
seemed like a
you.
twerpy,
You suck. You're
kinda
a fucking
like-
dinosaur. And it was just like, fuck off.
And
And it wasn't her.
Like,
It
shut
was
up, man.
you know, the
What do you
writing
know?
and the story choices. You know, like the actor was perfectly fine.
Yes, agreed. But like again, like she was just like, you know, whatever.
Do we
Yeah, you
always
just said
need
it.
some
Whatever.
young
I'm better
buck
than
to
you.
come in and
I'm
be like-
007. No, I'm 007.
We always
now.
need some fucking young buck
No,
to
no,
come in
I'm
and be
double-
like, I think you're a fucking asshole. And then by the end, it's like, actually, I love you and you're my hero.
And
Yeah,
you
it's
are
like,
better
okay,
than me.
cool. Blurg.
Dumb. Blurg. Yeah, agreed. We don't need that. and I don't
Moneypenny, on
want
the other
that.
hand, I fucking love. She was great.
I love that they finally in these Daniel Craig Bonds like made her into something other than the like frumpy
Dude, she's great. She's
secretary
so great.
dude.
I forgot that she was the
She was great.
sidekick to Cillian Murphy in 28 Days Later, man. She was awesome in that, too. Yeah.
That was her.
She's great, dude. She's really,
oh my
really great.
god, she's excellent, man. She is excellent. She was great in
Yeah, I don't know
Miami
if I've
Vice.
watched that one.
The movie.
Nah, no,
Oh,
I
you
don't.
got to watch that. It's like bad Colin Farrell with even worse, terrible
This
Colin Farrell hair, but
This
the
does not
movie
sound like my cup of tea.
What?
It's like bad Colin Farrell with really bad Colin Farrell. I don't care, man.
really bad Colin Farrell hair. I don't know. I don't know. It's not like we just talked about how awesome he was in Batman, and I don't know. Like Jamie Foxx is amazing in that movie. It was done by Michael Mann. Like every element is there except Colin Farrell. But Naomi
Okay.
Harris, she's
I believe
awesome in
you.
it. Yeah, she's really, really. Yeah,
I
she's
love
really
you,
good
but
at
I'm
it, and you
not
should
gonna
definitely
see
see
that.
it. It's good. Just to see it, dude. It's Michael Mann. You should watch
Oh.
it. It's good. It's like almost. It's
Really?
almost heat good. You know. Yeah, except for him and his hair.
Except for Colin
Ooh.
Farrell.
And his hair. And he's like, you know, this is a good mojito.
Sam Elliott's in it?
It's just, oh, God. No, yeah, exactly. It's Colin Farrell trying to channel Sam Elliott. He's got a stash, too, dude. He's got a major, I think he's got a major stash.
Hang on.
Let me look
Let's
this
just
up.
hang on for a second. I need to go look at Colin Farrell in Miami Vice.
Yeah.
It's relevant to the conversation.
Well, it is, and it should be the chapter art here, too. Colin Farrell, oops, Moami.
Oops, I randomly fell down a Google hole.
Oops, that sounds like
Tee-hee, tee-hee.
Momoa.
Oh, yeah. Worth it. Worth the diversion.
This is worth the time waste just to show you this picture, man, because
Maybe that's what Idris Elba can bring to Bond. He can bring a stash. Yeah.
a crappy haircut, right? Like a terrible sort of Jerry curl mullet or something, man.
Dude,
right?
Bond with a mullet? Totally.
I think I'm on board. And he's all like Momoa, like, hey, dude.
Sam Elliott Momoa. I like that. Are you sending me a photo? Am I sitting around waiting for Colin Farrell's fucking mustache photo, or are we actually?
Damn right you are, dude. There. Sent.
Oh, wow. That's a trailer park mustache
Yeah, I
if I've ever
told you.
seen one.
And the stash
he
is actually
saved
really
up his
great,
Marlboro
dude.
miles and they mailed him that stash. I love
and,
it.
and the hair, dude.
He's got the
and the hair.
He's got the
right?
I stole a bank pen necklace. You know how the banks used to have those pens?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Wow, that's pretty rough.
Yeah, that's really good.
That
told
does
you,
not
man.
make me
I
want to
told
watch
you.
this movie.
Oh, yeah. This is a good mojito. So it's like the only thing I
Clearly,
remember from
that and the
movie.
mustache.
It's him talking about the mojitos and his hair. It's like, dude, put more product
Definitely
in the
more
hair,
product.
please. Yeah.
Miami Vice, everybody.
So anyway, my ladies and gentlemen, Naomie Harris and Colin Farrell in Miami Vice. Anyway, back to Naomie Harris. Like, what I really liked about her in the overall Daniel Craig arc was that they made her something more than the frumpy secretary. So, she's strong and totally capable, trained like
Super
a double O
witty.
and super sexy at the same time. Right? Exactly. And she has legit a lot to do with a bunch of the different stories, in some of the films. So it was really great to see her, man. And I mean, to be perfectly honest, dude, based on that, she did not have enough screen time in this movie. They should have given her more. I mean, I get that it was okay, you're back on the desk because Bond's dead, or retired or whatever. But I was like, they should have had her. It would have been cooler to have her be 007 or something, man.
Yeah. Which, if they had done that, you would have been eye roll about it. But I'm with you. I'm willing to entertain that idea for sure.
Yeah, I'm willing to entertain that, and the fact that if that was the case, we all would have totally griped
no doubt
about
about
that.
it. It's a lose-lose there. But I know what you're getting at.
Total lose-lose, dude. It's a total annihilation situation.
It's a double
Let's be
elimination
real
tournament.
Here. It is a double elimination tournament. So, I was really glad to see her. I mean, again, I kind of agree with you about Ralph Fiennes and M and all that. I mean, I don't know. He was a good choice to replace M.
Ray Fiennes is a cool.
whatever.
He's got fucking gravitas. I think that's the second time I've used that word in this show, which I apologize for, but he's great, man.
That's okay.
He is a quintessential M. He is about as stereotypical M as you get in terms of just the crispy fucking teetotaling Queens dude, fucking British guy.
Douchey.
So I'm down. I just liked Dench more. I thought Dench just had so much more. She was just like your grandma who would fucking kick your ass, man. She would just fucking pinch your cheeks and be like, "You come in here right now and clean your fucking room and put on some socks or you're gonna get a fucking cold." And you're like, all right.
Yeah. Because she's kind of like
Dude.
your sassy grandma, dude, or something. You know what I mean?
My grandma wasn't sassy. My grandma was a fucking battle axe.
All right, whatever. She's a bit of a sass,
She's
bit
great.
of a battle
I loved
axe.
her. I loved how she wouldn't put up with shit.
I did too. She was great. And I don't think that I don't know. As much as I love Ralph Fiennes, and this maybe has nothing to do with him, but the way they want to portray the character, not a great follow-up from Judi Dench because
I like that he
crushed it.
called in the fucking missile strike here, where he was just like, "Oh, this is pretty serious. Everyone's getting pretty grumpy." And he's like, "Dude, shoot the fucking missiles." And he's like, "All right, let's do it."
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was good.
What do you think of? I don't think we covered this, but just generally speaking, zooming out a little bit, like, what do you think of Craig as Bond?
I liked him. I thought he was a good choice to play Bond. I don't know. Like I've heard people read various articles where people were like, oh, well, Roger Moore was like 60 when he did the last one he did, and he was getting too old, and blah blah blah. I mean, Daniel Craig's no spring chicken either, man. But it doesn't matter, dude. He still rocked the house in this one for sure.
Fucking Idris Elba isn't all that young either. Like, I don't know what difference it's gonna be.
No, he's not. Yeah, and I really hope they don't bring some young
20-year-old
whip in to play him. I don't think that's right either,
fucking
man.
One of those idiots from the
not gonna work.
Kingsman.
But I think
that series is fucking ridiculous.
You know what? I liked the first one. I didn't see the second one, and then they did like a prequel one called The King's Man that I'm like halfway through right now. That it has Ralph Fiennes in it.
They just like going around like fighting each other with umbrellas and shit. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you could classify it as that.
I want to throw my razor hat at you. You're like, okay.
It's kind of like, yeah, there's a little razor hat. I mean, it's kind of like sort of James Bondy,
James Bond meets Shark Boy and Lava Girl
thing. Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah. So, The King's Man. I don't know. I was intrigued enough with the prequel to watch it because I was like, oh, it's Ralph Fiennes is in it. I was like, it looks pretty good. So, how the hell did we get?
Oh, I asked you a question, and then you
what were we talking
ADD
about?
answered it. That's how we get started. It's usually how it works, What do you think of Daniel Craig? Yeah, The Kingsman was pretty good. I think, the second one was good, but I watched the first one, and then the second one was there.
What are we talking about?
Daniel Craig as James Bond.
Oh, the question was Daniel Craig as Bond. Yeah, I feel like he was a good Bond. I mean, he was awesome in Casino Royale. I mean, really all of these. I mean, he's a capable actor. So everything they threw at him, he did his best with it, and he brought a lot of different dimensions to Bond because we get to see a lot of different sides of Bond. Like the way he was portrayed in the Craig arc, or the Craig series rather, was we got to get inside of his head a little bit more and see what kind of made him tick a little bit more and see where he was vulnerable. Like they were like exposing his vulnerabilities seemed like one of the goals in all of the Daniel Craig movies. And they did that in a lot of them, man. And there were a lot of points, even if they weren't explicitly doing that, where he did end up very vulnerable, like in Casino Royale when he's laying in the car, like basically having a heart attack, and nobody's there to help him. So I really liked how they explored that with him. And he's the kind of capable actor that can handle that. You know what I mean? And he did it well, So I don't think anybody can take anything away from him. I've definitely heard people kind of naysay him, and say that he's too old and this and the other thing. But no way, dude. He was a great Bond. You can't take that away from him, dude. He's easily as good as any of the other ones, man.
Yeah. I think I agree with basically everything he said, so there's no point in saying it again. And I think it's hard. It's going to be hard to follow. I think I bet you cash money that no matter what they do, the next Bond won't hit it out of the park. I feel like Idris Elba is perfectly capable as a Bond, but because Idris Elba is a similar age to Daniel Craig, you'll run into similar issues. And it's a clean break, so you're going to have to fucking kind of reinvent the wheel. And because he's the same age, you'll probably have to go to some of the same places. And then the alternative is a young buck, which is just like, I don't want to watch a 16-year-old James Bond. I just have no fucking interest in it.
I will not go see
I think
that.
It worked with the Batman. I think the year one kind of like he's finding his feet kind of worked because we're coming off of, the Nolan shit. But I don't know if it works here. Like I think the point of Bond is he's a grizzled, old, capable fuck. And even if he's not 60, at 30-something, he's like extremely fucked up from just assassinating people after people after. Like he's grizzled. He's been in the trenches. I don't think a pre-fucking been in the trenches Bond works.
No, I don't think it does either. So they better not do some like Bond at the Academy bullshit because I definitely won't go see that. But just real quick, like Idris Elba is 49.
Craig's something like 50,
and
52.
Craig is 54.
So they're close enough in age, and like I'm sure they could dye his hair or whatever. But like just like anybody else these days, like Elba's got a little bit of gray in the beard, gray in the hair. Like he'll be Bond at the twilight of his career. Bond. I think you're gonna have to do that, aren't you? You're gonna have to do like Bond towards the end.
What do you mean, like if they go with somebody like Elba?
Well, like how do you make four Idris Elba Bond movies over the course of 10 years? Where
You can't, dude. Craig was
15
doing
years,
it for what is it, 22? Yeah, exactly, 15 years.
You know, he was like 37 or some shit when he started. Like that's about the latest that you can do it and expect a 4 or 5 arc movie series. Like mid to late 30s is kind of like feels about right.
Yeah, we did get Roger Moore was like pushing 60, or he was 60 when he wrapped.
But
it
I think
up
that's
with
the
View
point.
to
Is like
Kill.
I'm okay with that because it's wrapping it up. You don't start at fucking 50. You know, like if they start making the Idris Elba Bond movie tomorrow, it's gonna come out like around his fucking late 50th birthday or some shit. You know, like it's gonna be a couple years.
I mean, to be fair to actors today, they're much more like about being fit and will tend to look younger,
Craig
older.
Like he looks good here. He's fucking definitely fitter than I am. There's no doubt about that. But he still looked
no question.
He still looked, high 40s,
50, whatever
at best.
Sure. I think I'm just saying that like somebody like Elba could conceivably do this from 50, which is what he would be if they start next year, to 65.
I reckon it's a Brosnan. It's like a handful of movies. I mean, I suppose Brosnan was in quite a few. It was probably a Dalton. Dalton was in 3-ish?
No, Dalton. Okay, so Roger Moore was in like, I don't know, either between 5 and 7. And then Dalton came in and did 2. Yeah. He did Living Daylights and License to Kill. Then Brosnan came in and did 5.
Yeah, Craig did 5. So I reckon if Elba's Bond, it's another Timothy Dalton. It's like a two and done. That's what I think. And there's nothing against. I have zero against the idea of Idris Elba being Bond. Like I love the idea, but I just don't see how you make it into a 3, 4, 5 movie thing. And maybe 2 Idris Elba movies where he's a similar age to current Bond sets you up for that young buck Bond. But I'm not overly interested in the young Bond.
Again, I couldn't agree more. No young Bond. Like that can't happen. It's going to ruin the whole thing.
Yeah, like a mid to late 30s Bond who's been in the shit for a while is the Bond that we all know and love.
Yeah, no doubt.
Anyways, whatever. You get the point. We're fucking beating a dead horse here. We're beating a dead Bond.
Okay, dude. So here's what really needs to happen is that they need to tighten up production. And this is the last thing I'll say about the actors that play Bond. Because Brosnan did 5 Bond movies in 10 years.
That's tight.
94 to 204. And then Daniel Craig, it was 2005 to 21, dude. That's so long, man. You know, I mean, hell, Roger Moore did 72 to 85. So that was 12 years.
What was Dalton's spread? Was that a pretty tight 5 years too?
No. Dude, that one was like the worst, actually. It was 86 to 94, and he only did 2 movies. You know what I mean? So it's like 8 years to do 2 films. Like Brosnan's like 10 years to do 10 years to do 5.
Yeah.
And then what's his face? Connery, 61 to 67, 70 to 71, and 82 to 83. You don't really count the 82 to 83.
But you do that, like all of those, everyone except for Dalton and Craig to a degree. It's like you're only doing Bond. Meaning, as an actor who signs up to be Bond, you're like, I am only doing Bond movies for the next 10 years. Because, like, it's basically the go, isn't it? You're not really doing other shit, are you? Did Brosnan or those guys do other shit?
I would say back in
at the same time? Daniel Craig did a couple of things.
Daniel Craig did a bunch of movies.
And it was 15 years. Like,
I think that's why it took 15 years, because he was doing other shit.
Yeah, he did Knives Out, and obviously Cowboys and Aliens. That chestnut, that was a great movie. Girl with a dragon tattoo. Mm-hmm. But that was about it.
Yeah, Connery was like 6 movies in 6 years.
That's just back to back to back.
7. Kinda, yeah.
Like Connery needed to get drunk, play golf, and like shag ladies. Like that was all he was doing was Bond. If he was doing 6 in 6 years.
Yeah, like Casino was 2006, Quantum was 2008. That's exactly how it should be. And then between Quantum and Skyfall, it was like 4 years. And then between Spectre and No Time to Die, it was 6 years. Poor, very poor.
It just loses steam.
It's just, exactly. It's very poor, and everybody should die.
Everyone should just listen to us.
Anyway, let's wrap this up. Yeah, listen to us. All right, let's wrap it up. Yeah. No.
Maybe we're in bits. Well, I think we're in bits and bobs territory here, bro.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's bits and bobs and wrap this up, dude. It's already 10
Christoph Waltz, love him. Nanobots are dumb.
We're doing bits and bobs in list form tonight, folks.
That Billy Magnuson dude, the like CIA guy that wouldn't stop smiling, was so hateable.
Right? He was such a. He was like, just too.
He's punchable.
Too enthusiastic. He's just too. It's like just too enthusiastic,
but in the right way. He was super punchable.
Too just. Yeah. Super punchable. Like, I don't know. I was just like, dude, you need to like calm down a little bit.
I loved how he was like gonna get crushed by the car. Hey, fuck! I sort of tried to kill you, but could you like help me out here? And Bond just like pushes the fucking car onto him. I love that, dude. That was so.
I liked
dark.
that. I did like that too.
I fucking loved it.
Yeah, it was good. Going back to the Forest Land Rover commercial scene. When all of the other, so like he dispatches the first two Land Rovers pretty handily and really believably well, and then like this entire like swarm of motorcycles and Land Rovers, an armada just flies, literally explodes out of the forest. I literally said out loud, I was like, "Oh yeah, right,
dude, that was straight up fucking." Chrome spray paint, fucking Mad Max jumping into the fucking fray there. That was
totally
great. Yeah,
Gates of Valhalla, dude. Definitely,
that was a cool sequence. The opening motorcycle chase, or the opening motorcycle jump stunt was pretty cool. Like there was some pretty interesting stuff in there. Bridge jump stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And the opening with the vintage DB6 or whichever it was. That was great.
Yeah, man. Oh,
I loved how that thing was tricked out with those cool like spherical
Gatling
grenades
guns.
and like the miniguns behind the lights.
I definitely think we are remiss if we don't shout out just how much they lovingly and tenderly brought in things like that, the old Bond stuff. Super cool.
Agreed. Like they just there were one thing I guess we didn't really kind of talk about because we kind of spent a lot of time being negative about a lot of things about Bond and doing like a history lesson about Bond, but they bonded out.
No, big time.
In the right spots. You know, like that beginning bit with the DB6 chase was perfect.
Yeah, it was great.
The forest chase was great.
Even that shot, it was, you know, I don't know. Some people probably groaned, but I didn't. In the missile silo when he's shooting people up and then he turns and does the actual Bond shoot at the camera thing. Did you see that? Remember that little scene?
Oh, yeah.
They really did bond out.
That was cool. And, you're right.
You know, it totally fit. If this was movie 3 or movie 2 in a 3 or 4 series, you'd just been like, oh my God, it was so fan servicey. But because they were bringing the era to a close, it was like the perfect time to just bond out hard.
Yeah, no, but bonding out doesn't just mean doing like fan service and bringing back old elements. It also means just like doing things that are so Bond, you know, like that. You know, you're trapped in a circle of dudes in your bulletproof car.
You're
it's
just
like,
how
are you going to get out of this?
James.
It's simple. Pull out the miniguns, dude, and start doing donuts, man. You know, like what's better than that?
Eating a donut while doing it, but yeah.
And then like, exactly, right? One of the things I really loved that was a super Bond out, but Bond out villain was when he's holding the child and Daniel Craig comes up the stairs. And then, like, he shoots all the guards in, like, 2 seconds, and Rami Malek like, the floor just drops down, and then it, like, closes. I was like, oh, that's so Bond villain, dude.
Yeah,
like, you gotta love that, man.
Open up, yeah.
Yeah, that was excellent.
That was great.
Definitely.
And then he had the...
also of... What?
Fucking MMA wrestling match with the Cyclops one-eyed dude in the stairwell, and then EMPs the dude's eyeball to explode, and then uses a cheese dicky Bond quip. That was
great.
Showed him your watch, blew his mind. Just like, it's so cheesy. I love it.
Yeah. Oh, come on, you gotta love it, dude. You know. I also gotta like, well, let's stay on the Bond outs for a second. Again, another Rami Malek Bond out was just, like we were making fun of it before, but it's just like, do you like my garden of poison? Like it was so Bond villain, dude. Like stretching all the way back to the 60s with like the Connery Bonds, just like, I grew up here in my parents' garden of poison. Each plant is for a different way to control people. I was like, this is so perfect, man.
Yeah.
Like
I'm amazed Bond
so
wasn't strapped
perfect.
to a table with a laser pointed at his dick or something,
I know, right? Exactly. Or there was like sharks with freaking laser beams in the water. Yeah, definitely good. What was other good Bond out moments? Dude?
I had one a second ago, but I lost it. I did kind of like. I will give kudos to Lashana Lynch, who played 007, for her Jamaican thing, like picking him up. She's like, I have a thing for old Rex. Like, that was perfect, man. Like, it was great. She's got the little moped and fucking takes back to his place.
Yes. God, dude, that's a death. I didn't even pick up on that.
She played him so hard, man, and it was just perfect because Bond would totally have fallen for that shit.
Yeah, he would have.
This is Achilles' heel.
Right.
Oh, you know what? Another one was like, I don't know if it was intentional or just the sheer amount of time that I spent playing GoldenEye on Nintendo 64, but some of the like scenes with running, it's like, you've got 9 minutes to get to the objective. It was very video gamey, where he was like running around, just running and gunning and shooting people up. It just felt like you're playing a video game level, and I want to think that was intentional because it was just a lot of fun.
It certainly is cool to think that it was intentional, so have at it, man.
That Russian scientist dude was pretty solid. He was like kind of cheeky and so fucking weirdo.
Yeah, and totally Bond too. You know what I mean? Like that is a total Bond movie thing. And he's all just like, this Bonds to kill all these people. Like just perfect. You can barely understand him. Like just super cagey and weird. Like. But I reverse formula and kill everyone from Spectre. I was like, okay.
That's great, man.
Awesome.
I love the intro of him,
next?
too, where they're, like, making fun of him. His lab mates are making fun of him. Then he gets a call, and there's like, Spectre is telling you to push this button. He's like, okay. And he just, like, kills his friends and shit, It's like, all right, man.
And then like what else was very Bond? Like
the fucking Cyclops dude was pretty Bond, dude.
Oh, he was definitely Bond, dude. Come on.
Exactly.
He was like he might as well have been Jaws, but with like a bionic eye, right? And then like I'm gonna have to give a huge shout out to Ana de Armas because it's just like Bond swinging into Cuba and then she grabs him and takes him to this like, ancient wine cellar with a secret compartment where his tux is, and then she just turns around and looks like a total bombshell. And then they roll into this place and just start kicking ass. Like that was so Bond, dude.
Especially when they roll in to do the mission, and he's like, "Shall we get a drink first?" And she's like, "Yes, we should."
Yes, I like that too, man. They did that like a couple times.
Yeah, they did shots halfway through their gun battle.
I like that a lot.
It kind of reminded me of like for whatever reason, the scene with Bruno and the deaf guy from Fifth Element, or the deaf fucking musician dude. I don't know why it's reminding me of that, but
oh my god,
yeah, maybe
because it was so chaotic.
I'm pulling that out of my ass, but whatever.
I love that. That cool
Thanks, man.
It's great. Ray, no.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, good times. Okay, what else? I'm going to move away from bonding out and say that I have a thing for Ben Whishaw, man. I don't know what it is. My first exposure to him was in Cloud Atlas, a movie that I've seen
Who the fuck is
many
Ben
times.
Whishaw?
And I love the guy that played Q, dude.
Oh, that dude. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I really like his story.
Yeah, you should read
Cloud
that. That's
Atlas,
a great book.
And I really thought he was Yeah, I want to read it, man. Because the movie was really, really good aside from the semi-poor makeup. And really, really solid movie. So I really enjoyed him in that. And he was probably the best part of The Heart of the Sea, which was a terrible movie about Nantucket. And yeah, he's just really good. I always thought he was perfect to play Q, and just what up, big ups, dude. The guy's great.
Q's a tough role. It's
What else you got?
I don't know. Like back in the day,
Totally.
Q was very much like I'm Alfred from Batman. Like here's your gadget, sir. And I like that he's a little bit more like hack the mainframe. Fucking what's his name? The General Hux in Dread. Like I feel like that's kind of the vibe they're going for these days with like
yeah.
Enhance, clickety
Donald
clackety.
Gleason.
I've fucking hacked into the mainframe, and I also kind of like I don't know. I like
Definitely.
it, even though it's kind of dumb. Where Q isn't like back at base, like he's on a C-130 flying, and they get buzzed by MiGs. It's like he's got some skin in the game, It's like, oh, that's cute. That's adorable.
Yeah. I like that too. I always love when like Q would like show up in like the back of like a random candy shop, and there'd be like a secret panel, and then there's Q with like all of his dudes dialing it in, That was always fun, dude. And the Q part was always like one of my favorite parts of the Bond movies. It was
Let's
like,
load up on
okay,
gadgets.
time to
dude.
load
it's the
up
Punisher
on
War
gadgets,
Journal, man. It's like let's look at cool shit. It's Knives Monthly magazine where we can fucking get some cool shit. Like I'm totally on board.
Exactly. That's where you go get your batleth, dude.
I'll take 2 Glaives and a Gerber Leatherman, please, with a Batman holster.
Yeah. 2 Glaives. You imagine that,
double
dude? That would be
glaive.
great. What do you? I think I'll do 2 Glaives, a batleth, a Batman,
Batman fishing
grapple
Leatherman,
thing.
please. Yeah.
Oh, the Batman fishing leather. That was so funny, man. Holy moly. That cracked me up. So, okay, let's move on. You got more bits or you want to let's nug it out? Yeah? I don't have any nuggets.
There's no nugs. Yeah. They were like I literally read IMDb trivia for like an hour. It was like never ending and nothing interesting.
Who cares?
I'll take it from me. There was nothing in there that mattered at all. It was just like, and then this car had this year's model of car. Like, okay, don't care.
Ugh, God. I'm so tired of fan service in movies, man. There's my nugget. How's that?
Okay.
Okay. All right, so let's move along to deaths. Actually, good showing this week, despite Benny's absence.
Though.
We had, well, I know, but he has been applying himself and dying more, which I've been very pleased with. So we had, let's see, pretty even too. You ejected on Quantum of Solace, then you had a Star Wars death, then you died because you were misremembering, I'll be gentle, Judi Dench's
I forgot Judi Dench was in 5 movies.
Yep. And then I ejected on Judi Dench as M, and then I ejected on Idris Elba and Daniel Craig simply to look up how old they were, which was terrible. And then I just had the old Rex death.
Old what death?
That was it. The old Rex death. Like, she was like, I like old Rex. I didn't get it.
Oh,
until
gotcha.
You explained it.
Fair
Egregious enough to warrant a death. So, anyway, ratings.
No, you go first. I actually didn't give it a number.
I don't even know. Despite our complete and total scatterbrain coverage of this film, I really enjoyed this conversation, and I felt like we covered a lot of interesting things. And that being said, for all the reasons we listed, I'm going to go ahead and give this movie a 7.736. It's really good. I would say it didn't like blow me away enough to just be like, yeah, freaking Bond, man. And I'm trying to put my exhaustion aside as well, so it doesn't taint my score, but it's definitely a solid Bond movie. A good send-off for Bond and the Daniel Craig series. Definitely better than the previous 2 Bond movies. And probably is up there, honestly, in the top 10
this movie?
All-time Bond movies. Yeah, I would say so.
Wow.
There's a lot of quality there. Like, even though I didn't like super enjoy it, like I recognize like the quality of some of it, and I could be way wrong on that, but maybe I don't want to say in the top 20.
Well, I
That's
think
stupid.
top 10 is close from
maybe the
top half, and top half means above average. So it was definitely an above average Bond movie.
All right, I'll say yeah. I would say in the top 10 because the top 5 would be the
doesn't
really
feel
kind
right.
of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, 7.73. I mean, like, top 5 for me would be like Casino for sure, GoldenEye definitely, definitely Living Daylights. Not familiar enough. I haven't seen the Sean Connery ones enough.
Goldfinger's pretty solid.
But yeah, Goldfinger, and if I had to pick a more one, like, man, I don't know. I always liked For Your Eyes Only, but Octopussy was always really a favorite of mine too. So, I don't know. Yeah.
There you go.
Go ahead.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, where am I here? I think I'm like...
What are you, Cajun now? We gonna talk about James Bond
Where'd she get?
and start basing
Unsalted
butter. Oh my God, do my kids do that all the time.
I love it.
Every day. Dad, unsalted butter.
Love
and
it.
start basing.
Casino, from I guess, where was I at before we started talking about unsalted butter?
We were going to do ratings, but then we were kind of ranking the Bond movies too, sort of. I was sneaking it in there. Anyway.
I think this one is definitely an above average Bond movie. And
okay, great. Yes.
I think it is, for me, like a 4 is borderline and a 5 is good. So like the reason why a lot of movies that we talk about end up with a C-Lab 5, to quote the Stallone song, is because like it takes quite a bit to get out of good into really good territory. And a borderline movie just generally means by definition that there's something off, there's something wrong. So
sure.
I don't think there's something wrong with this movie. I think it was solid. Whereas I think the other two most recent Bond movies were just kind of like at best borderline, at worst like meh. So I think for this one, I think a low 5 is appropriate. And then Casino Royale's got a 7.4, which is firmly in great territory. And Quantum
definitely
is a 5.9, which is almost into really good territory. So if Quantum of Solace is a 5.9, then a low 5 is about right here. So
I agree. I
don't
feel
know.
you.
I mean,
that.
in the low 5s for us, GOG, Tombstone are both 5.3s. Demolition Man's a 5.2. Galaxy Quest is a 5.1. Rambeau First Blood 5.1. Roadhouse 5.1. Really? So like,
dude, Galaxy Quest should be higher.
Yeah, I didn't have the nostalgia. It's good though.
Oh,
you know,
shit.
like
right.
the 5s is a good place to be. Like Sicario's there. You know, there's plenty of good movies there.
This Sicario is
it's great, but really this is that's the issue with the algorithm is it's all movies ever. So you're gonna just have a bunch of shit in the middle.
Yeah. You're right. I always forget that. Yeah.
So Running Man is a 5, and that was kind of like silly. And Roadhouse is a 5.1. The recent Suicide Squad is a 5.1. I feel like this is pretty reasonable to put in 5.1 territory.
Yeah, no. I'm not just like disputing.
No, I'm just trying to justify its position. So I think a 5.1.
Yeah, no. Every time you remind me of like what the algorithm's prime directive is,
I don't know. I think I would put this above the recent Suicide Squad. But I get second thoughts because at least the new Suicide Squad was trying something different, whereas this is like movie 25 in the same old formula. So that actually makes me a little bit hesitant.
You know what? The new Suicide Squad was super enjoyable to watch. Like, this was a bit of a struggle. So,
well, by that rationale,
I don't know.
I know that you will fight vehemently for Roadhouse being better than this, but
no, I won't, because I understand the nature of the algorithm and how the rankings work, like all time. But I gotta say, by that same measure, Suicide Squad should be above this movie. Like that was a really, really good movie on a lot of levels. We all really enjoyed the movie. Benny and I rated it super high. You know, like it's quality material.
What about Chef?
Man. Undeniable. Oof, man, that's a big favorite of mine too.
Or
I
Hudsucker
love
Proxy.
that movie. I haven't seen that enough to say, but
Chef's got this too.
Like, yeah, I would put Chef above this.
All right.
And even though that's a newer movie, I got some nostalgia there. I love that. It's a comfort food movie for me.
Yeah. For 5.1, just below Chef, above Roadhouse, below Suicide Squad.
Love it. But not as
No
legendary
way.
as
No way.
Casino Royale.
Casino Royale is like is a mid-7, dude.
No
like it's
way.
a fucking good movie.
Yeah, it is. It's really, really good. All right, cool. I like it. So, yeah, there you have it, folks. The first Two for Hawat show. Hope you enjoyed. Slab, what are we doing next week?
I've got Predator on the docket.
What?
I think we need to, like,
Really?
we've had a little bit of a, I think we need a real fucking classic.
Yep, got it. Oh, dude, The Abyss. How about that?
Ooh, that's a good call. That's a fucking good movie.
That's a freaking
That's a
classic,
fucking
dude, right
excellent
there.
candidate.
Great sci-fi.
Yeah, let's do that. That's great.
Hope you enjoyed this Two for Hawat, the first of the Two for Hawat series, where one of us is absent. And that would be...
We miss you, Benny.
We miss you too. Head in a jar, he go. What was this movie called? Oh, James Bond, Nobody Dies
No
of Death.
dying for dying's
And,
dead.
No, for dying's dead. And stay tuned next week for The Abyss. And that's it. We'll see you later.
See ya.
And that's going to wrap up this week's episode, folks. You can find the show notes for this episode in your podcast app of choice. I never say of. That's the first time. Or at our website, ebd.fm/episodes/158. You can also support us by chucking us $1 on Patreon. That's always great. You can rate us and review us on your favorite podcast app. And you can also tell your friends to check out the show. That's a powerful way to do it. So tell your friends. We would really appreciate it. We'd really appreciate it if everybody would just, kind of get off their ass and leave us a review. That'd be great. We love you.
We passive-aggressively love you.
We passively aggressively love you. And also, join us on social media. We spend most of our time on Instagram, but we are all over the various social media sites with the handle @EBD Podcast. So we hope you enjoyed this send-off of the Daniel Craig James Bond movies and the first of our Two for Hawat series with Nobody Dies a Death. And stay tuned next week for The Abyss. So long, folks.
What we see lab, 2 for Torpedo, 3 for Wolverine to round out the trio in this episode. Everybody dies.
Beady, beady, beady. Stop into it.
Yeah, it's a good mojito. Yeah.
Dude, did you watch the fucking Avatar trailer? I couldn't give less of a fuck about Avatar, dude.
Don't care about those movies.
Oh my god, I watched the trailer and was like fucking just like I raspberried for 2 minutes.
Dude, the movie came out 13 years ago. I'm not interested at all.
You need to watch it, man. I actually demand that you watch it right now just so I can hear you groan afterwards.
Oh, yes. Let's do that. That sounds good. Let's see here. Avatar trailer. Way of the Water? Is this real, dude? That's what it's called?
It's Waterworld. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Here we go. Wow, that sucked.
Am I right or am I right?
Mean, you
it's just
are
like,
1,000%. Not only are you 1,000% right, the trailer is terrible. Like, it's just terrible, dude. This is the same movie we saw 13 years ago. That's what this is. And like,
don't care.
I'm not gonna watch it.
Don't care. No, we're gonna watch it. We're gonna fucking beat the living shit out of it.
Oh my god.
Oh man, don't care. Just don't care. And then I was like, all right, so like, okay, cool. I don't
So wait.
care. This is the same shit.
Yeah.
And then I went to the YouTube comments and it was like, Blurg, I've been waiting my whole Blurg life for this.
So wait,
like, are you fucking kidding me, man?
Yeah, this is terrible. So wait, Stephen Lang gets an avatar now. Like I don't want to see this. This is just stupid.
I don't know, man. Like, you got to give Cameron kudos for fucking balls to the walling it, but
Yeah.
I just do not know how he's going to pull this off.
All right. Well, here's what I will say. I think, in all seriousness, like you cannot deny the literal visual world building of the background
yeah.
he creates for the movie, and this looks even cooler in many ways than the first one. But
Sure.
that just doesn't cut it, man. If you don't have a story, it doesn't work.
It worked in 2009 or whatever because
it didn't.
fucking. I think that Avatar, when it came out, was so stimulating visually that the first viewing for most people was like, wow, that was cool. And then it was like when you came out and like, you know, the sugar high from your fucking Milk Duds orgy like wore off, you were like, wait, was that good? And then you watch it again and you're like, that movie was dumb.
Totally. I even bought a copy.
So I think it was, you know, at the first viewing, most people were into it because it was so visually stimulating. But as soon as you watch it with anything other than, you know, fucking 3D lenses in a movie theater, it was like, there's nothing to this movie.
Mm-hmm. That's the problem though, man, is that we like the story. I was bitching at some of the nerds at work. I was trying to like nerd dominate them with my nerd cred. And I was like, they were like, dude, Avatar was cool. I was like, dude, Avatar sucked. I was like, the story sucked. It's been told a million times. Stand down.
Dude, yeah. And I was reading Le Guin and it was like lifted straight from a Le Guin book.
That's what I'm saying.
Which you and I were chatting about recently.
Yeah.
It wasn't even that he like took Dances with Wolves and made it interesting. It was like he fucking straight up stole an entire book by Ursula Le Guin.
Yeah, it was
and
terrible.
Then made it Dances with Wolves, you know?
And now we're going to see the same incredible visuals in this sequel, and it's just going to be basically the same story. The humans are still there. They're still trying to destroy the planet. Blah, blah. Do not care.
Yeah, man. It's I think you hit the nail on the head where like you need more than just visuals nowadays. And in 2009 they got away with just visuals and for a couple of watches.
Yeah, for
Whereas
a couple
now,
of watches.
Like, there's not going to like I think the same thing will happen. I think this movie will come out, the press will fucking jizzle over themselves about how fucking stunningly beautiful it is, and then 2 months later everyone will have a hangover and it'll be like, wait,
no
what
way.
did I do?
Dude, if there's one thing I know about reviewers, man, they're all trying to like make a name by ragging on movies. Like that's what they do. And it's like I guarantee you're gonna just see like, you know, the reviewers are gonna be like, you know, and it's like whatever. I mean, all movies, like when CG started becoming a thing, like all these movies were leaning on the effects and they had no story. You know what I mean? There's tons of them, man, from like 10, 15 years ago. You know what I mean? And it's like it just doesn't work. You got to have a good story. Like you can have a really good story and like a $5 budget and it will be a better movie than like this $800 zillion movie with no story. I'm sorry. It just will.
Yeah. I mean, there's 5 of these fucking things, so it's clearly going to be the humans take the tribe out in Avatar 1, and then the tribe fights back in 2, and then, like, the tribe fucking, I don't know what, takes on humanity in 3 or some shit?
Dude, I stopped listening to what you were saying, like, when you started. I was like, that sounded like her. It's so
fair enough.
Full of hatred, pull the dark lever.
I don't know. Like, kudos to James Cameron, dude. The guy does not pull punches. He just goes balls to the fucking wall, and that's fair enough.
I'm with it, 100%.
So, like, you gotta give him some love for that. And, like,
I do.
That is some serious fucking balls to make 5 goddamn movies before you even know how the second one's gonna go.
No, I agree. And I mean, look, dude, we love James Cameron. He's made some of our favorite movies, but, like, this is just...
Period.
Yeah, period. Exactly. But this is just, like, whatever. Isn't freaking The Abyss James Cameron?
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I brought it up.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. All right. So anyway,
The Abyss.
guess what, everybody? Chad and I hate The Abyss, and I can speak for Betty, too. We hates it. We don't like it. Sorry, not The Abyss. Sorry. We all. That's a death, dude. Jesus.
No, I liked it. I was like, yeah, fuck The Abyss.
Yeah, no. So anyway, moral of the story, we hate Avatar, and that's that.